Anyway, this is a rexena. I want to reintroduce this guitar with its many pieces of damage. Neck's nice, but the body's got a lot of rash on it. Mostly it sits in a closet. It's an oldie. It was a cheap guitar, probably for like a beginner or something. But this is one of my projects from last year. I think it was last year. And I thought I might pull out the ones that are still here before they go into the collection. These will probably end up at Dad's at some point. This isn't a very playable guitar. I mean, I'm playing around with it, but as far as it being quality, it's not. It's more like a novelty. A lot of the antique guitars I own are in that category. They're just things that will never exist again. So I've been on a quest for the last little while to buy as many of these kind of guitars as I can find in decent shape, because there are not going to be one, cheap guitars like this ever made again, and two, most of these got just thrown away. They're not like nice enough for any real musician to want them. I collect these because one, they're usually cheap. Two, they're going to become extremely rare. Many of these brands and many of these models I've never seen before, and I'll probably never see again. Sadly, when I had all the stuff stolen from the house, some of the weird guitars that I had were stolen, and some of them are stupidly expensive now. Um, so I'm going to grab these, as many of them as I can, before they're gone. I know I had a Flying V made by a company called Vantage, and I saw one up in North Georgia the other day. I think they wanted $800 for it, which is about right. I bought that exact same guitar, different color, but the same guitar, for $65 20, 30 years ago, somewhere in there. And I had it forever, and it got stolen several years ago, along with the weird Les Paul that I had that had some damage that I fixed, and I also had this guitar called a Tempo, and I got pictures of it, but I've never been able to find another one. And it was kind of like this. It had that odd look. It was kind of a Stratocaster shape, two pickups, a weird, it had a regular kind of toggle switch, almost like a car would have. It was very unusual. It had a really nice looking finish, kind of like this tobacco sunburst, but instead of being a tobacco sunburst, it was just this red. The black, then the red. Never really got as pale as this. Um, and it had a really good looking pick guard. It was really heavy. This is a real thin guitar. See, the body is tiny. That one was, it was thick. And it had this big baseball bat of a neck. I always had trouble trying to get the intonation right, but it was close. You could play it, but you couldn't do a lot with it. Mostly I liked it because it was good looking, it was weird, and I'd never seen one before, and I haven't seen one since. I do have it's kind of maybe a little ironic, but they didn't steal the case. So I have the case to that guitar, and I've never seen another one, but I think that's my mission as a collector of guitars. My dad and I are collecting these somewhat together, and for him, it's about playability and fun. Yeah, for me, it's about rarity and uniqueness. I'm not as good of a musician as my dad, so it really, for me, it's like, what can I fix? because I like to work on the guitars. I also want to find the things that nobody else will remember to save, because those will become interesting sort of relics of the past. Anyway, that's me playing with this guitar and sort of explaining myself. Sorry about the Columbo eye if it got out of hand. But bum bum.